Hello, good morning. I hope that you're all well and that you've had a good week. It's another beautiful sunny winter's day in Cornwall. We've had the most wonderful week of weather here. It's been a joy to look out and see the sun and to look at the stars at night. The skies have been so clear. Now, unfortunately, I haven't been able to take advantage of this weather because my whole week has been about packing my special birthday project. This week, I've literally packed zillions of items and I've been pulling 14 and 15-hour days. It's been quite a journey getting this project together. We'll be announcing the project on Tuesday, February the 14th, so look out on social media for the announcement. I hope that you'll be delighted with the project. A lot of thought and love has gone into making it available. Today's Flosstube, we are going to be focusing on this beautiful sampler. Now Bertie, will you go over there, darling, so that Mummy can show the sampler? Will you come back here? There's a good boy. There's a good boy. You sit down by there. Go on, you sit there. Oh, you're such a good boy. I gave the dogs a shock. Well, I gave Hugo a shock this morning. When I wash my teeth in the morning, the dogs come and they sit by me because they know that they're going to have their teeth washed as well. And I accidentally put my toothpaste on Hugo's toothbrush, and when I started to brush his teeth, his face and his sort of facial expressions, oh my God, it made me laugh. He had such a shock. He was expecting tripe flavoured toothpaste and instead he got spearmint. Anyway, let's get back to the sampler because that's what you all want to hear about. This is Sarah Rinder, 1841. Isn't that a gorgeous, gorgeous sampler? It's such a unique sampler. Like your eye immediately goes to this bird bath and the doves enjoying the bird bath. And then you have all these beautiful tendrils of flowers just coming around, well, framing this bird bath. These tendrils are so elegant. You have these two beautiful bouquets and they are gorgeous. These would be beautiful on a pincushion. And then you have this stunning, truly, truly stunning border. And this border, it's a design that repeats. So although it looks like a complex border, it isn't really a complex border to stitch at all. The verse is lovely as well. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. That's a beautiful verse. Now, Sarah stitched her sampler when she was 12 years of age, and I think that's a wonderful achievement for a child. Truly, truly beautiful. Now, such a beautiful sampler had to be for something very special. And Sarah Rinder, 1841, is Needle in a Haystack's 25th anniversary stitch along. Do you know what? 25 years, a quarter of a century. It's a long time, and it's an achievement that Kathy Ray, the owner of Needle in a Haystack, should be congratulated on. It's very, very hard for needlework stores to survive, let alone thrive in today's world. It's very hard for businesses and particularly needlework stores. Having a needlework store, it is a labour of love. And we are truly delighted to partner with Needle in a Haystack to celebrate their achievement. Sarah is a limited edition sampler only available from Needle in a Haystack. On this video, in the description, I will put a link to Sarah's webpage on the Needle in a Haystack's website so that you can click on the link and read everything that Kathy has written. Kathy is offering this special sampler as a standalone booklet, as a kit, and that could be a kit just with the threads needed to stitch the sampler, or just the linen, or the chart thread and the linen. There's lots and lots of options on Kathy's website. In the booklet you will find a conversion for DMC, Soie d'Alger and Soie 103, and Soie Saphine as well. Kathy has really covered all the bases with this. She's offering vintage maple sugar linen and legacy, and that's lakeside linen, and then she's also offering legacy linen in Swiss cocoa, filbert, nightingale and waffle cone. So there's some really lovely options there for you. Now, if you buy a kit from Kathy within a certain time scale, and you do have to check her website for that time scale, you will get in your kit a complimentary scissor fob from Minnie McBean's, and these scissor fobs are exclusive to Needle in a Haystack, and they are truly beautiful. There's two designs. The bird bath design has these beautiful doves and a bird enjoying a bird bath, and then the other design is that gorgeous bouquet of flowers, and we have this flower arrangement here. Sue is so clever. Do you know what? Every single one of these has been added. There is so much work that goes into these scissor fobs, and they are beautifully made. Her finishing is just so spot on. She takes such care with these, and these are a limited edition fob that is solely available from Needle in a Haystack. Now, Sarah used 22 colours in her sampler. The sampler was reproduced by Sandra Moffat, and it was stitched by Leona Sweeney. And Sandra and Leona, they have really produced some amazing samplers between them. It's a wonderful collaboration that works so well. The original sampler I acquired probably towards the end of 2019. Sandra and I were actually trying to work this out in the last couple of days. We believe it was the end of 2019, and the sampler was charted in 2020. The original sampler, when we received it, was so fragile. I sent it to Sandra very carefully packed, and when she opened it and started working with it, the sampler was literally disintegrating as she was handling it. Sandra's term for it was that it was ending up like Weetabix, because the linen was just crumbling as she was handling it. The front of the sampler was very faded, and a lot of the colours in the bird bath had bleached out. So Sandra actually used the colours on the back of the sampler for her reproduction, but even those were very mellow. The border had retained good colour though. I think that to chart a sampler like this, it requires a great deal of skill, and I think Sandra's to be commended for her dedication in reproducing this sampler. The booklet is an A4 booklet, and we've produced it so that everything is very legible there for you, easy to follow graph. There is a lovely centerfold spread of the sampler, and it comes with a bookmark with your thread legend, and the bookmark afterwards can be used as a label to put on the back of your sampler. We actually know quite a bit about Sarah. She was born in Holbeck, Yorkshire, on July the 24th, 1829. Her parents were Samuel and Hannah, and we have pictures of her parents, which we've included in the book. Her father was a road and paving contractor, and he employed 6 men. So he obviously had a successful business. Now, Sarah married at 17 years of age to William Pickard in 1846, and they lived in Meadow Lane in Leeds. William was a painter. They had 5 girls followed by 2 boys. William died in 1869, and the year after, in 1870, Sarah married William Blakely, a wheelwright and blacksmith. Now, William lost his first wife the year that he married Sarah, and we suspect that this might have been a marriage of convenience, William gaining a mother for his 8 children and a housekeeper, and Sarah would have gained financial security and the protection of a husband. It must have been very hard for her as a widow to care for 7 children of her own. So between William's 8 and Sarah's 7, they had 15 children between them. William died 6 years after they got married. So Sarah's life couldn't have been that easy. We found a newspaper article where Sarah is mentioned. Now, she ran the New Inn on Meanwood Road in Leeds, and the newspaper article mentioned that Sarah was fined for unlawfully permitting drunkenness at the New Inn. The later censuses, 1881 and 1891, find Sarah living at 4 Amberley Grove in Potter Newton in Leeds. And it was very interesting to note that some of her second husband's children from his first marriage were living with her. So she was obviously a caring stepmother. She died on June the 9th, 1897 at the age of 68, and her death certificate showed the cause of death as pneumonia and exhaustion. And her stepson, Arthur Pickard, was with her when she died, and he registered her death, and her effects were valued at just £80. Life was very, very hard in the Victorian era for sure. We hope that you enjoy Sarah's sampler. It's been quite a journey for Sandra and Leona reproducing this sampler. I found researching her life very, very interesting, and it's just a privilege now to be able to present her as a special release for Needle in a Haystack's 25th anniversary. Kathy Ray of Needle in a Haystack, I think in the industry she is considered to be the queen of the floss. She has, Bertie, darling, you go over by there, sweetheart. She has this amazing technical knowledge of thread, floss and linen, and Kathy is going to be sharing that knowledge with us in the next 12 months as the stitch along for Sarah commences. Now, Kathy has set up a Facebook group, Sarah Rinder 1841, Needle in a Haystack's 25th anniversary stitch along. All you need to do is put Sarah Rinder 1841 into the search term in Facebook and you will find the group. The stitch along is being led by the amazing Sherry Eddington, and Sherry is a very, very good stitch along leader. She plans to do monthly stitching videos, as she's done with the Eliza Martha Linfoot stitch along and the Jane Fiddis stitch along. And Kathy plans to have various videos where she talks about floss and linen from an educational point of view. It's very important that we understand the technical side of the materials that we are using. Sometimes there can be a lot of confusion about which thickness of silk that you use for which count of linen, and Kathy is going to educate all of us with that. Now, even if you are not going to stitch, Sarah, you are very, very welcome to join the Stitch Along group and benefit from Kathy's experience and knowledge. Although we do hope that you will stitch Sarah. She is a limited edition. I know that since Kathy announced her on Thursday evening, or was it Friday evening? I'm a bit confused with the days. I'm confused with the days because my husband has been playing golf on odd days this week, and normally my week is governed by what my husband is doing. Whether it was no, it was Friday night Kathy announced Sarah, and you know, there's been a wonderful, wonderful response to this special sampler. The sampler has cross stitch over 2 and some cross stitch over 1 for the verse and Sarah's name. Now, Kathy is going to share with the Stitch Along group some tricks of stitching over 1 on Ada. But if anybody is going to use Ada and would like to have options for this verse and the dedication in over 2, we're happy to come up with something for you. Oh gosh, it is a beautiful song. I'm going to show it to you one more time. Isn't that beautiful? Really, truly, truly is a glorious, glorious sampler. And it's a happy sampler. Those birds are really enjoying themselves. We have some wonderful bird life in our garden, and we enjoy feeding the birds and watching them through our window. We have a bird bath, and although we don't have doves in it, we do have lots of blue tits, and we have a robin in our garden, and we have chaffinches. We do have wood pigeons in our garden. I think these might be turtle doves, but Sandra will probably correct me and tell me that they are some other type of dove. Okay. Oh, I know what I forgot to say. We had never seen a motif like this in a sampler before, but when we started doing some research, I came across this book by Raffaella Serena, and it's embroideries and patterns from 19th century Vienna. And in this book, there are 2 patterns showing birds around a bird bath. We've not been able to find the exact pattern for Sarah, but we believe that Sarah's needlework teacher would have been inspired by these Berlin woolwork patterns. Really, really gorgeous. See, if I just hold this up close, you'll be able to see that these are the type of patterns that people work from. Can you see that that is graft? No colour symbols, it was just colour blocks. Isn't it funny how Berlin woolwork patterns were probably some of the first graph patterns available for needleworkers, and they were produced in colour, yet within our industry we went to just black and white symbols. I much prefer colour charts. They suit my eyes so much better. And talking of that, We recognise that more and more people prefer stitching from a digital chart. And because of that, we have made available a single, that's a one-page chart, colour chart of Sarah that you use to stitch off one of your electronic devices such as your phone or your iPad, and you can store either in the file section of your phone or iPad, or you can use Pattern Keeper for. The single page chart is not available for purchase. It is complimentary. Everybody who buys a booklet will receive that single page PDF chart of Sarah's sampler. So that's another little addition to this stitch along that we hope will make stitching Sarah an enjoyable experience for you. Anyway, I've probably been talking far too long now. So before I start to waffle, I'm going to say to you, go along, have a look at all the information that Kathy has posted on her website about Sarah, and we hope to welcome you to the Stitch Along. Don't forget to tune in to social media and YouTube on Tuesday for my special 60th birthday release. We're going to be releasing this on Australian time so that our Australian stitchers can take advantage of this special project. It is very, very limited. So until the next time, which will be Tuesday, stay safe, stay well, bye-bye.